Alright, you guys, right there is my Hatsan VECTIS. And I call it Hatsan Hitsan now because every gun that they make these days is a freaking hit. Okay, at least in my book. Anyway, I took my scope off of there with my 1-inch side shot adapter. I started out with just a 30mm and I got a 1-inch for 40 bucks off Craigslist. Off of Airgun Classifieds. $40 ship, so now I can put my side shot scope cam right there on my 1-inch Hawkeye scopes. I pretty much only use Hawkeye. That's because they are super kick-ass at an affordable price. They're like the bottom tier of high-end scopes. So I got a bunch of those off eBay when I started out in air guns, and now I got 3 or 4 of them, and it keeps me rolling real nice. But a nice little scope like this weighs about 1 pound, whereas if you're going to get a more fancy Hawkeye scope, you know, with all the bells and whistles, they have these metal flip-up covers and stuff, then it's going to be way closer to 2 pounds. So this is a great scope. I'm going to start using it in a lot of my videos. I always get the AMX reticle, and this one I probably paid maybe $200 shipped, but of course I get stuff off eBay brand new, so I probably paid like $179 or some crazy price. I got my Hatsan VECTIS right here. I got my Chronograph together with a little indoor lighting kit that I'll explain in a second. Pellet trap. And all these pellets are about to get chronographed inside. So it's been cloudy here, and you know, my Master Chrony Gamma Master by Chrony, this thing won't work if it's cloudy out. And so it's been rainy and cloudy for a long time. Boop, boop, boop. I never read the instruction manual on that, but now if you do have a chronograph and you want to use it indoors, I went on the Airgun forums and they said you just put some lights like this. These are from Harbor Freight, and that should create enough light right here to where I'm ready to go. So I'm about to experiment and see if that's going to work, and hopefully not shoot my window or make too much noise. It's like 2 in the morning right now. Okay, so here we go. Let's find out how fast this VECTIS is going to shoot. So my lightest pellet here is probably the Sniper Lights right here, and these guys are they're 14 grain. These guys right here are 14.3 grains. Okay, so first I'm just gonna pop this up to 200 bar and do a 2-clip shot string. In this case, it's going to be 24 rounds, 12 shots per clip. Perfect. Okay, I got my zombie pellet trap down there to catch all these pellets. Here we go. Nothing. Alright guys, I got it to work, so let me just reload these magazines, reload my air. Alright guys, after a bit I just figured out how to use my Chrony, so we got a full 200 bar fill. I have 2 full clips, which is going to be 24 rounds. Here we go, shot string. Alright, that was 1 magazine right there. So it looks like 1 magazine took me exactly to half of the green zone right there. Alright guys, that was it. 24 shots. I went from about, shoot, I don't even remember what that was, but over 900 feet per second to down to 831 in 24 shots. Not bad. There's my nanometer. So I like to refill after 2 clips, or actually 1 clip when I was filming the accuracy portion of this video. But there you go, that's your shot string. Now, I didn't notice any change in the point of impact. So, me going from 900 to 830 feet per second, I was still hitting the bullseye more or less most of the time. So, interesting. That's what chronographs are for, so we can see what's really going on. Very cool. Thanks for helping out, dude. So, if any of you got one of these Chrono Gamma... So, if any of you have one of these Chrono Gamma Master models, basically the way I got this to work indoors, you could probably even do this outdoors on a cloudy day, is I had to put these Harbor Freight, LED lights right there like that. And then, I don't know if I had to do this, but I had a couple down here. And so, between those two, it was taking perfect readings indoors at night. So, all those lights right there probably cost me about 12 bucks. Okay guys, now I'm just going to do some various pellets. I'm going to do 2 shots on each pellet so we can just see generally what their FPS is going to be. So these are Craftsman Premiers. These cost $5.99 for 500 at Walmart. Also, I have my gun tethered to a 200 bar tank, so we're just going to stay at 200 bar for quite a while. No need to refill on this little test. Here we go, Craftsman Premiers. Probably on the lighter side. Holy crap, that zombie's so dead. Holy crap, look at that. Me likey. And again. Oh, darn it. Oh, well, I don't have all night, so we're just going to skip that. That was 1,000 feet per second, though, for Craftsman Premiers. Pretty cool. Next, we're going to do some field target trophies right here, and these are 14 grain. Anything 14 grain, I didn't find to be very accurate, and I think that's because it was breaking the sound barrier. Field target trophies. Wow. 993. Cool. Right at 1,000 feet per second. And one more time for the 14 grain field target trophies. Alright, so we're looking almost at 1,000 feet per second there. Next we have these super weird little pellets. These are called sniper lights. And these are... looks like these are 14 grains too. Wow, exactly 1,000 feet per second. That's cool. Let's see if we can do that again. Sniper lights. Wow. Okay, guys, now we have 14 grain, basically JSBs. Holy crap, the same exact speed as the sniper lights.
Very interesting.
Only I'm sure they're more accurate. Wow, very consistent with these 14 grains. Okay, now we're moving up in weight. We got 15 grain right here, and this is one of the pellets that I found to shoot accurately at 35 yards. Nice. And again with the 15 grains. Wow, very consistent with these JSBs. Probably why they're accurate. Oh, this is my favorite pellet, and it did very well in this gun at 35 and 50 yards. Probably the best out of all 10 pellets that I tested. The 18 grains. Let's check it out. 928. 916. That's a good speed for a 22. Okay, now I'm going to test these two that are on the heavier side. Both these pellets are the weight of a 25 caliber, even though they're 22. So we got 25 grain, which did very well. They were the number 2 pellet that I tested for accuracy. And then the 33 grain. Very close, though. Behind this guy right here, and in the number 3 spot, was the H&N 21 grain Barracuda. So we'll get to those in a second. All right, guys, this was like number 3 or tied with number 3. It tied with JSB Pellets at 35 yards and did pretty good at 50 yards too. The Barracuda matched 21 grain. So now we're getting into some of the heavier pellets. You want to thump your prey. 871. Wow. All these pellets are very consistent. Now, these are some of the heavy pellets that you can buy for this gun. These 25 grains here were the number 2 pellet that I discovered for accuracy on this bad boy. Did very well at 35 yards and 50 yards. Oh man, I hope his head's still on. I'll take out Bugs Bunny. Can you see him? Wow, I hit him in the face. Okay, it looks like there's actually some enemy combatants in this mountainous terrain over here. So, got a call from the president and he wants me to take those dudes out. These guys right here did not do too well. They weren't terrible, but anyway, we're just going to test them both. So first we're going to do 25 grain, which like I just said, these are number 2 pellet in this gun that I tested. So if you want to thump something at 35 or 50 yards, you'll be able to get a half-inch group with these guys. $7.99, are you out of your mind? And now Super Big Dog's 33 grains. Now you guys will be able to see exactly what these do as far as groupings because I did shoot all these pellets on camera, which is coming up. 33 grain. Wow. Those really took the FPS down. Nice. And we have my super hard-hitting, heavy engine pellets. Basically like a 22 caliber pellet with another 22 caliber pellet welded on top. That's a heavy pellet. I don't know exactly what these weigh because it doesn't say on there, but they're a big pellet. Now, last but not least, I thought this was super lightweight ammo. It's actually not. It's just super expensive. So I'm going to go ahead and shoot a couple of these out of here. I'm thinking they're going to be over 1,000 feet per second. Wow, look at that. So it says this retains 100% of its weight after expansion, retaining velocity, energy, and creating less ballistic drag. Alright, well, let's see here. I guess they're copper-coated. Now, I have heard you're not supposed to shoot copper-coated stuff out of your air guns because they're too hard for the barrel. But we'll try it anyway.
Are you mental?
Woo! Good old 1,000. So, you guys, when they... I don't know what they said on there. I don't know if they said 1,200 or 1,000. I kept saying 1,000 for this 22, but if Hatsan claimed that their gun shoots 1,000 feet per second in 22, it sure as heck does. Watch this. Nice. And just to show you, my gauge right there is pegged at 200. Because what happens is this tank starts out at 4,500 PSI. Eventually it gets to where it's exactly 200 bar. So at that point, I can hook it directly to my gun. And I don't have to have any special valves or any special regulators or anything. And now my gun just went from 165 cc's to like that giant thing. So I basically have a 45-minute tank on my Hatsan VECTIS right now. So I could probably shoot this for quite a while, and it's going to stay at the 200 right there. So yeah, so all those tests that I just did were done on a full...
Ceasefire, target destroyed. Fire! Fuck! Anti-tank, HE!